Quick facts. Elements cinematic rhythms, everybody. Modern folk percussion for contact, 61 sampled drum/percussion instruments, over 70 mix-ready multis, and 40 hybrid percussion patches. 15 GB in size, with one patch taking up between 50 and 150 MB of RAM. The drums have up to 5 dynamic layers and up to 12 round robins per layer. Besides the playable drums, there's hundreds of loops, hundreds of sequencer rhythms, hundreds of rolls, flams, there's so much stuff. And if I had to summarize Elements cinematic rhythms with 3 words, it would be bang for buck. Seriously, wait till I tell you its price. Elements cinematic rhythms goes for a medieval, tribal, and warrior-like sound in the style of Assassin's Creed, Age of Empires, and The Last Kingdom. It focuses on raw and lively performances, full of authenticity. The sample library contains a ton of drums in various folk styles, like warrior drums, village drums, djembes, and taikos. And percussion instruments like shakers, medals, gongs, cymbals, water drums, and so many more. All of these are also assembled into pre-mixed multis for instant percussion ensembles. And then there's even sound design with multiple presets per patch. The sound of Elements rhythms fits perfectly into that cinematic folk universe of both the Ethera Gold series, which raised the bar for solo vocal VSTs with its latest release Atlantis, and Elements modern scoring synth that takes raw acoustic instruments and turns them into a firework of evocative sounds. Elements cinematic rhythms has a bit of its own workflow, and understanding it is crucial because it's one of the library's great strengths. There are loops, playable round-robin samples, and a sequencer, all in the same patch, all on the same keyboard. The loops are red and play lively organic grooves. They sound amazing and help you establish a rhythmic foundation for a track. The playable drums are yellow for round-robin hits and green for rolls. These are perfect for adding a personal touch to the rhythm. And the sequencer, which plays the rhythm that you set in the UI and controls its playback speed with the purple keys. Now, listen closely. Unlike most other percussion libraries, the playable drums in Elements cinematic rhythms are laid out on the keyboard by dynamic layer. The higher you go, the higher the intensity. At first, this was unusual for me, because I was used to playing percussion libraries with all layers mapped to one key. I wondered why some keys sound loud all the time, even though I press them gently. But once I understood the workflow concept, I got used to it quickly. Now, I love it. I can more reliably nail the dynamics, because it's not all super sensitive to note velocity. Also, fast, convincing rolls are super easy to play. Simply go from left to right on the keyboard. But don't worry, for those who prefer a layout with all samples mapped to one key, there's also, depending on the patch, 1 or 2 slightly orange-looking keys at the end of the yellow key range. Those have the traditional mapping. The sequencer plays the round-robin samples in a customizable rhythm from the sequencer tab. The library comes with countless presets, all ready to help us get started. The purple keys change the speed of the sequencer, so I can hold down a yellow round-robin key and double time it with one click, or even add fast triplets. In order for the sequencer to work, your DAW should be in play or record mode and not stand still. And with input quantize, the sequencer is always in time. Very handy. Each of these 3 workflows, loops, playable round robins, and sequence rhythms, works great on its own. But Elements cinematic rhythms truly shines when you combine them. I can load up a multi and play not only one, but stack 3 loops on top of each other for a basic groove. I then add movement and transitions with the sequencer. And play in accents with the round robins. Together it can sound like this, and it's easy. With these 3 tools, playable drums, audio loops, and the sequencer, I have the freedom to program every drum beat either completely by myself or let the library help me out. There's a big center knob for ramping up the intensity with added saturation and compression. And a row of sound design knobs shaping the samples with envelope options like attack, decay, sustain and release, or add filters. The info button is a reference guide for the keyboard layout, and expert opens an advanced settings window. There's a lot of sliders here, but don't worry, it's simple. The left column sliders have most of the envelope functions we've already seen in the bottom row. The center column controls the 2 mic positions, room and close. You can control the loop mic position separately from the round-robin drums, which is great for allowing extra control over how you blend them together. Perhaps you want to enhance an audio loop with some rhythmic accents, but the yellow round-robin drums sound too upfront. Simply turn down the close mic. The right column includes effects like delay, filter and saturation, and a halftime tempo option. You can load one of the many existing presets or save your own for later. With Element's cinematic rhythms, you got all the drums for creating entire soundtracks in a medieval fantasy style, and more. The library goes beyond a bunch of sampled solo drums. It's a comprehensive percussion collection that's put into context with ready-to-go multi-ensembles and is workflow optimized to help composers write convincing percussion lines better and faster. Whether you compose a traditional medieval video game soundtrack, score a Viking TV show, or simply create a cinematic folk tune for a hobby project, you will find drums that suit your style. And with the multis, you can have everything already assembled for you if you wish. Element's cinematic rhythms balances convenience and individual control very impressively. Every drum, every percussion instrument comes with prepared loops, and the multi-instruments are pre-mixed and ready to go. Everything is designed to create great results quickly while offering all the necessary flexibility. The library even branches out, adding sound design elements and modern electronic drum kits to widen the sound design possibilities. I didn't expect to get a Bram out of a folk percussion library. Combining audio loops with the playable round-robin drums and having the agility of the sequencer on top of it makes cinematic rhythms a workflow monster. Element Cinematic Rhythms comes at an intro price of, wait for it, $63.95 US with a regular price of $79.95. Its sheer amount of content, lively recording quality, and a ton of workflow power makes Cinematic Rhythms an unbeatable option for this type of percussion right now. They could have easily priced it at $149 or $199, but they didn't. Instead, owners of other Ethera products save an additional 20% with the Ethera loyalty scheme. Check the link in the description. If you're on the hunt for raw, powerful, and flexible percussion and like what you hear, this one is a no-brainer. I wrote a little demo piece. It starts off with a folky tune in context with some other instruments, and in the second part, it exposes some of its other sounds, so you can get a super quick taste of how diverse Cinematic Rhythms is beyond the typical folk style. I will keep delivering you more and more high-quality composer content, and all you have to do is to hit that subscribe button to avoid missing my content. Keep composing, and I'll see you soon.